Why do I investigate the paranormal? Over the time of my involvement with our podcast, Dimensional, and also the years prior to that, this is a question that I have been asked several times. Why? Because I'm a Christian. So what is a Christian doing investigating the paranormal? I mean, after all, what am I really benefiting from it? What am I really gaining? Because the Bible does say to abstain from evil things. Now, I could go about answering this several ways. For one, the Bible tells us that we are to have an answer to every man with the hope that is within us. There are thousands of people, millions of people who have questions on the paranormal and are trying to understand it better. And there really are not Christians giving answers to those things. And to give an answer, you have to do research. You have to know what you're talking about to give an answer. Another way I could answer it is, in the Bible, it tells us that there is spiritual warfare always taking place all around us at all times, and that we are to know the enemy if we want to know how to better combat them. If we simply bury our heads in the sand, we will not be effective at trying to defend ourselves or minister unto others who are being attacked. Now, just like with all things, there is a balance, which is why I don't participate in ghost hunting or full-on investigations. I believe the Bible clearly speaks against necromancers, witchcraft, and trying to communicate with spirits. It is even called an abomination before the Lord. Now, I could go on for 2 hours explaining in great detail all of my views on how a Christian should investigate the paranormal and why it is important to have a more Christian awareness of the supernatural. But for today, for this short video, I think this question, why do I investigate the paranormal, it is better answered in a story. This story was passed on to me, and the people who it happened to would like to remain anonymous. So picture a Christian family. They're going to church, they're doing family worship, everything on the outside seems fine. But something was happening that no one knew about that would greatly change the way this family would look at their world and their family forever. This family consisted of around 5 children, all ranging in different areas of life. When one day, the 10-year-old daughter came to her father and simply said, "I have something I want to talk to you about." The father said that she seemed very unsure and scared about what she was about to tell him, so he gave her his full attention. What she then began to describe, he could tell she didn't know how to put it into words, but whatever it was, absolutely terrified him. She told him that for the past 4 years of her life, she had been tormented one night every single week by something she did not know what it was. She would say that in the middle of the night, she would wake up and find herself being unable to move. The only thing that she could move was her eyes, and when she would look out of the corner of her eye in her peripheral vision, she could see something crawling on her floor, a dark figure with red eyes. This thing would crawl across the floor, sit itself up on its knees, and rest its arms on her mattress and simply stare at her for over an hour before it would then disappear. This would happen to this child one night every single week, same night every single week for 4 years. And she did not know what it was. She didn't know if she was dreaming. She didn't know if it was real. All she knew was that it greatly terrified her. Now, to people who investigate the paranormal, you obviously know this sounds like sleep paralysis, but this family had no idea what sleep paralysis was or if demons really even do anything. Now, some of you might be listening to this and be like, "Oh, that's just a dream or something mental." Well, you tell me, something that's happening consecutively that we can match with other cases, I do not believe is just a mere coincidence. I believe that there was a real demonic attack upon this child. Now, fortunately, the family was able to go before the church and ask for prayer, and whatever this was eventually stopped. But it just goes to show that there seems to be a lack of awareness of these kinds of things. And that's why we're here. And this story really shows the heart of Dimensional Podcast and my zeal and passion to do the research for Christians so that they then can better prepare themselves to either face these kinds of things themselves or minister unto other people who have. Because if we don't know the enemy and if we don't get to the root of the problem, then it grows and it grows and it grows. Another wonderful thing about our podcast is we reach thousands of people every single episode we do with the good news of the gospel and how these topics of the paranormal tie in with Christianity it is absolutely amazing to see what the Lord has already done. And so with that, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below. If you want more content like this, we upload once a week, and we are always coming out with new podcast episodes, which will be included in our main YouTube feed. And so with that, make sure you keep an eye out for our newest podcast episode on the legends of the vampires. And so we'll see you in another video.